until in college, I went to a meeting of the Human Resources, Human Relations group in Virginia, where I was going to school. And I'm listening to these white folks. She said that? They haven't read that book? And after month going to this meeting, I said, damn, that's downright stupid. To call white folks stupid, not to their face, in my mind. That's telling me that I'm somebody in college. I'm getting ready to come to Albany. I was working at this 5 and 10 cent store. And the manager told me to go downstairs to get some inventory. So I went downstairs to get the inventory. This white girl, this pretty white girl, downstairs. Just happened to get down there when I got down. And she had a bigger smile on her face, and that smile got bigger the clothes I got to her. That smile got bigger. And the aisle that I was going down got smaller, because she made it small. And I got to her, and she touched the private part, and all I could see was a rope around my neck. That's when I took to college. And got to Albany again. Then I believed that our country didn't have spies. We the good guys. The best country, the strongest country, the richest country in the world. I was patriotic. In other words, I was patriotic, the greatest patriot among the white folks, all black folks, anywhere in the country. I love me some United States of America. And then, in 1967, y'all teachers correct me. Power came down in a what do you call it, Paul? A jet plane that surveilled over Russia. And he got shot down. I could not believe, not our country. Our country didn't have spies. There's all those other countries that have spies. And I said, from that point in my life, she told me, what other lines in my country told me? And I started reading. And I was educated about the economy of our country, how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. How many lies are told right in public without being afraid. And I was being prepared for the sit-ins. Sit-ins came. We had a sit-in in our college, Virginia University, in 1960. And a meeting was called at Sherrod University about student nonviolent coordinating committee, just to tell the students all over the country what was happening in various cities. Sit-in, how you do a sit-in. What is nonviolence? So I read Afro-American Author Journal Guide, the newspapers, basically, magazines. There was a time that I would read and looking at everything, observing our country. But I still had one thing in my mind, in my body, was fear. In my head was fear of death. And I had to deal with that fear. So, being jail without bond, don't pay no bond because they were slowing up our movement all over the country by giving us these outrageous bonds, $20,000 a piece. We got 100 people, $20,000. A lot of money. Raised where they got money from. They could even put a bond on it and slowly move it down. So we went at it to tell them not to accept bond. Don't get out of jail. Go to jail and don't get out. Bond versus jail versus bond. And so we had told these kids to do this, and some of them started doing it in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And so we asked us to come join them. And since we had told them to go, they called our bluff. All over the country, they called our bluff. And so we, four of us volunteers to go. Charles Jones, Charles Sherrod, Ruth Garcia, Diane Nash. In the name of Nonviolent, went to jail. And Rock Hill on the chain gang. And some bad things happened to us on the chain gang. They put us in. I was laughing one time in prison down in Rock Hill. I was laughing. They told us to stop praying and stop singing. And I said, oh what? I said, we in jail. It's not a worse jail than this. What you gonna do? And I said out loud now, man, we were laughing together on that until they put us in the hole. The hole was a little place with nothing, 2 beds, and 13 of us in one room, stayed there for 3 days and 3 nights. And we prayed, and we preached, and we grew. I dealt with fear in that room. A small room with 13 people in it, with a sleeping room for 2 people. And we got out of there after 3 days, 3 nights, and went back to the same place that we were arrested in prison, believe that, arrested in prison and taken to this little place. And the first thing we did was to sing, ain't gonna let nobody, Lord, turn me around, oh, turn me around. And we started singing, and we started praying all over again. They put us back into the hole. And we stayed another 3 days, 3 nights. This time, we pushed the water out, pushed the food out that they would feed us in protest. And we prayed and we sang these freedom songs, the songs that kept us and made us strong and allowed us to go back and not run. And the first thing, we can outrun any of these old men. Outside, you know, if we were outside the prison. But nonviolence and love of our people and the love of what we were doing kept us and allowed us to be strong. And all this prepared me for Albany, Georgia. I came to Albany, Georgia, unafraid of death. When you're unafraid of death, and you can observe a little fellow. I've never been arrested. I've been arrested in 5 states. I've never been arrested without a policeman either putting a hand on his gun, taking the gun out, or hitting me with something or a flashlight. So what I observed was that they were afraid. They were afraid. So I was in charge. And this allowed me to think and reason and to love them even though they were hurting me. And that's the attitude I've place where the yards was current. A woman couldn't go in the store and put on and try on a hat. A black woman couldn't try on a hat in the store without having a stocking cap on her head first. There was nobody working in the cash registers with white women. And so, everything was segregated. No school was segregated. Never seen so many outhouses segregated. Segregated drinking. Everything was segregated. And so we had to teach, especially to the young people, and especially to the gangs, because we had 4 gangs who were active in the movement. I can't remember one time that on the lineup before we marched out of church, I didn't find at least one instrument of death, one knife or one gun, even in an old lady's pocketbook. These are violent people. They were scared, but they were violent. It was all in the house that you go into that you didn't see a shotgun leaning up in the corner. So they had. What they're going to do is an old shotgun in the back, probably hadn't been fired in 10 years, but they had those instruments of death. But they were afraid with it. And their children were the answer to the puzzle that we had. The puzzle of where and how do we get these people moving? How do we get old people? How do we get 30-year-old young people who married and got children? How do we get them to go to jail? How do we get a whole community to go to jail? And the solution to that problem is to get the children. Don't mess with them folk children. The man that said, yeah, no, will stand up and say, you got my child. I can't even get my baby. I'm here at this mass meeting because they got my baby in there. What we gonna do? And they said, what y'all gonna do? What we gonna do? So the children, 10 more minutes. So the children are the answer to the problem of how do you get people full of fear, willing to risk their life for a principle, for being equal, for having a good job, for having a child get the best education that he or she can get, equal education. For all those things that we dream about as the American. And I said one last thing, that is one thing that irks me to no end, was when many of the books that I read say that the Albany movement failed. How can the Albany movement fail? It taught all the other movements what to do. This was the first place where the whole community went to jail. This was the first place where black and white folks went to jail. And that's the last one, black and white folks. Whatever the answer to our problems in our country, and we ain't there yet. Whatever the answer to the problems of our country, as far as race, as far as economy, as far as socialization of our children, it's got to be forged by black and white. And that's why I insist to the counties. Well, we found this pretty young lady. Well, I'll wait down, she makes a presentation, we'll hold up the question.
Okay. Well, we want to